We would like to acknowledge the Yuggera people and the Turrbal people as the traditional custodians of Meanjin, the lands on which we record this podcast today. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Always was, always will be, Aboriginal land.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of For the Health of It podcast, a podcast made for healthcare professionals by a nurse on the inside. So my name is Jess Tully, and I'm the Brand Ambassador of Healthcare Australia, but I'm also a registered nurse myself. Now, today's episode is all about the stuff that I love talking about, which is about rural remote nursing. And I have an amazing, gorgeous HCA nurse named Erica, who is all the way from Ireland, on the podcast today, and she's talked about all her passions and just like the incredible journey she's gone through over the last year and a half of being in Australia. So if you're yourself an international, this is a really great podcast to listen to, because we do briefly talk about her experience of going through all the paperwork and the ARPA registration of coming over to Australia, but also the differences in what she's kind of gone through being a nurse from Ireland compared to Australia. So I feel like you're going to listen to this episode and be super just inspired, I guess, to apply for Healthcare Australia and to do rural remote nursing, because the experiences that she's done and the adventures and just the lifestyle she's been able to create is absolutely incredible and so addictive. She is so happy. She is absolutely so glowing with excitement. So if you're keen to watch the video of this podcast on YouTube and Spotify, there is the video version. But otherwise, you can just hear in her voice, like, just how happy and just how much she is just smashing life. So be prepared to be inspired. Rural remote nursing is honestly the best. If you've got any questions, you can always hit me up on Facebook. Jess Tully is my Facebook account name. Otherwise, you can just reach out on the Healthcare Australia Instagram or Facebook page. I respond to you. So ask any questions and just, get ready to be inspired, because this is a fun episode. So keep tuned and you're about to listen. All right, everybody, let's get cracking into this amazing episode. So I've got Erica with me today, who is a Healthcare Australia nurse and has honestly been living her best life. Just even in the last year, I can't wait to dive into her stories of what she's doing. She's living such a unique and pretty awesome lifestyle. I've done it myself, and I can totally see why she is addicted to this lifestyle. So a huge welcome on For the Health of It podcast. We've got Erica. Say hi, Erica.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. I'm so stoked to have you on today, because this is exactly the type of topic that I love to talk about. So the audience definitely heard a little accent there. Run me through where you're from and when did you come to Australia?
So I'm from Ireland, the south of Ireland, Cork, and I'm 3 years in October graduated from my nursing degree, and obviously nursing during the pandemic and things. I just wanted a different lifestyle. I was sick of this healthcare system kind of in Ireland, and I was like, right, I'm ready for Australia. I moved here in January 2022. And I'll be here 2 years in January coming. So love it here.
Very good. So you started your nursing career literally at the beginning of the pandemic. Is that right?
Yeah. So in Ireland, we do, on our final year, we do an internship, a 9-month internship. And literally into my second month of it, COVID started happening. And in my third month, we were in lockdown. And I actually happened to be on an oncology ward at the time. So we never shut our wards. We stayed open. We stayed working, and I actually ended up going on to a COVID ward working also. So straight into the deep end straight away. Yeah,
absolutely. Oh God, no wonder you just wanted to get out there and have a big, crazy adventure. So what made you come to Australia? Because obviously we have so many Irish nurses, and now that the borders have reopened, we've just been flooded, and it's amazing having all these accents again. Because during COVID, I so missed having all the international travelers on working holiday visas here, and I noticed a huge difference. So what drives you to come to Australia? Is it our lifestyle and our beaches?
yeah, it's a bit of everything. Like I feel like once I was like, when I finished my leaving cert, I was like, I want to be a nurse. I felt like Australia is always kind of a bit of a comes with the whole nursing in Ireland. Like you have to like want to try it. I always knew I wanted to travel. I wanted the like better lifestyle. I love the health and like active lifestyle of Australia. I love the sun, the beaches. It was just like, oh my God, go in on night duty, come back, go sleep on the beach for an hour or two. It's just, the lifestyle was really drawed me in. And just like just the pay, I feel like nurses are even more respected and more kind of like glorified in the community. And I just kind of feel like it's not like that in Ireland.
Yeah.
So it's just the lifestyle, the actual job itself, the opportunity. I feel like there's more opportunity for nurses. There's more, there's more learning in it. There's always like I just feel like there's better opportunity also.
Yeah, so good. Well, that's why you guys all come here. I see. Well, we love having you guys here. It's amazing. How was the process, like doing your visa and stuff? Did it take 6 months? Did it take a year?
It was a bit complicated. It was a bit complicated because when I came in January, we were the only ones allowed into the country. We were the first group back into the country before it was opened up to everyone again. So that was a bit complicated with getting all COVID certs and different things. But in general, it's actually it took about 6 months, but it's quite straightforward because you get an agency rep and they just literally ask for this, ask for that, and you go and you collect all that documentation. And it's a process, but you just do one thing at a time, collect one document at a time, and get them signed off from a lawyer. And you just, it's not too bad if you do one step at a time. But if you like get a big list of it all in one go, you're like, oh my God, that would take ages. But
Super overwhelming.
It wasn't too bad.
Perfect. Because I always get asked a lot online because I talk to everyone on social media and they're like, how long will it take? And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's around 6 months. Like that's the sweet spot. You just got to be super awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to come here and you got to experience Australia. So did you know straight away that you wanted to do travel nursing? Was that kind of your goal initially? Or did you even know that we had like travel nursing contracts?
No, so I actually I didn't know anything about the rural nursing or travel nursing. I started off in Sydney and I was working in Sydney, and sometimes you can get caught up in the lifestyle and going out, especially in your first couple of months here, you're going out, enjoying yourself. And I found myself losing routine and not working as much as I was in the city. And I wasn't enjoying it so much. And I was like, I need a break from the going out, the city lifestyle. And I heard about the rural nursing from a friend. So I was like, oh, it was winter. It was last July. I was like, this is my opportunity now to go out, make some money, have a nice detox, and just get some bit of routine, get healthy again, make some money, and just try something different. So I signed up with the rural part of it, and we picked a place together, me and my rep, who is amazing. You get a rep when you go rural nursing, and they guide you through the whole process. So we picked a place, and I went there all alone. I was like, just bang out 6 weeks, head down, work. But little did I know that like going rural nursing was going to literally change my whole experience in Australia. Like something move across the world to grow and like change. No, go rural nursing alone, and then then you find out who you are.
Yeah.
So that was the start of it. I just needed a break from the city lifestyle, found out about the rural nursing, and it's addictive now. I'm hooked.
It so is addictive. That's how I kind of explain it to people as well, because the personal growth that you get from it, like as you said, moving countries is already a huge thing, right? You're going to grow so much within yourself. But going out to a rural remote community, whether it's a regional, rural, or a remote placement, all by yourself, going to a new workplace, like being involved, like no friends, no family, nothing, like God, you learn a lot about yourself, hey?
In the most incredible way. You just take this big leap and you just trust yourself and you go for it, and you just be so proud of every little thing you do, you know? It's such an achievement. It really is.
Yeah, especially going out of your way to like
go out on your own.
Yeah, making friends and stuff, like, saying yes to opportunities, going out for dinner with new people, making friends with new colleagues. Like, it is crazy. So you got addicted to it. What happened after your 6-week placement?
So after my 6-week placement, I went back to Sydney, and then I again got into a bit of not the best routine again, and I was craving. I fell in love with my routine up here and how healthy and fit I got, and just like I got such purpose again. Working on the ward, like you work on your ward, you become such a valuable staff member. You build up such a rapport with the wardies and the nurses and your patients. And because you're not just like going and meeting different people every day, you're on that same ward, building up a beautiful relationship with your patients, seeing them come in to getting better and going home. And I just felt like I got such purpose and job satisfaction again. And outside of the work, inside of work, I craved that then when I left.
And so what made you make the decision? Because we're having a little pre-chat before we started the podcast, and you said that you just decided to just get rid of your apartment and just totally live the nomad life. Was it after that 6-week placement that you were like, that's it, I don't need this apartment?
So I actually went back again for another few weeks coming up to Christmas, because I was going to be flying home to Ireland for Christmas. So I was like, I'll go work again for another bit. But it was after Christmas then. I came back in January, and I had all this like independence then to just do what I want. And I was like, right, I'm 25. This is my year. Like, I'm so free. This is my year to go work hard and travel. And that is all I want this year to be about. So a friend moved over and ended up actually renting my room out for a couple. So it worked out perfectly. So I was only supposed to go for 4 weeks in February, and I ended up going for 4.5 months. But in those 4.5 months, I was flying in and out, going here for these long weekends, booking this time off here. And it was just amazing. It was so exciting, because I was like, okay, I'm banking up here and I'm going to book here this holiday now. I'll work really hard this week and take a long weekend here. And it just was just so much fun. And I like the holidays, and family are texting me like, do you work at all? But it's funny, Instagram doesn't see the other side when I'm working maybe up to 50 hours a week sometimes, if that's what I want. Yeah. But it's just like, yeah, just working, traveling is what this year is about for me. And then come May, I was like, right, we'll just get rid of the apartment completely now. All my stuff is in storage. When I come back from a holiday, depending on what one it was, because I was just skiing 2 weeks ago, I come back to the winter suitcase, put the winter ones away, repack for summer. And it's a bit mad, but I love it, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
That is honestly the coolest lifestyle. Because you were just recently in New Zealand, right? And you were not only just in New Zealand by yourself, who did you go with?
So it's so funny. So there was like, back in March, me and all the Irish girls that were working on my ward, we just became so close. And I think it's just the job we're in also. We go through the most unique experiences ever, that I'm often like, my sisters were seeing what I'm doing right now, or you know what we go through together, we're there for each other, and we just build up such a unique bond, I think, in our job. So the girls that are working on the ward with me are doing something very similar to me, the flying in, the flying out. So we all just became so close. And it was like a quiet PM shift in March or February, and one of the girls had a ticket for the Snow Machine Festival in New Zealand. And she was like, oh, why don't you get a ticket too? And it just got the ball rolling. Well, about 9 of us ended up in New Zealand 2 weeks ago at the Snow Machine Festival in Queenstown. And oh my God, it was just hilarious. It was just incredible. So we work and live this lifestyle together. And then we have like the savings to go and do all these incredible holidays. Like another 5 of us were just in Bali for a month in June. So it's great.
What
so much fun.
Life, so much fun. And I know what you mean by like the types of friends that you get, like, because I don't know what it is. Like you can make friends everywhere, like in all parts of your life. But when you do a rural remote contract and you make a friend on the ward and they do what you're doing, right? You're both agency nurses.
Yeah.
The friendship just becomes so deep really quickly. Like you become like really solid, good mates. Like I've got some really incredible friends like all across Australia from doing this. And it is like the most amazing and most intense friendships you can get. It's just like, because you become family, right? You become like a bit of a family.
Really and truly, you're there for each other because you have, it's like, actually, we always say we're like in a big sleepover, and because we have like the motels and we're all at the hotels, and we come down in the evening and we do face masks, because you go through so much on the ward also, and what you see, there's like the great stuff and there's the sad side, and you're each other's therapists, you talk to each other. And I think because we go through it together, that it's very hard for some of our friends that aren't nurses to understand. So what we go through together, we're just each other's backs and shoulders, and it's just, the friendships are just lifelong friendships.
I love that. And I love that you can all just take a whole chunk of time off and go to Bali together and go to New Zealand together. Like, yeah, you're smashing out 50-hour weeks, but as you said, you've got like job satisfaction. You love being a part of the team. You're also getting all the perks of not only just agency pay, but also free accommodation, which is pretty epic. So you're all pretty financially comfortable that you can just go on these big, crazy, cool holidays.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. And
very good.
Like, I have like even girls that I worked with in the rural, all my stuff is in one of their storage units in Sydney, so we all rely on each other and help each other out, and it's just, so it's lovely. Great security.
Oh, I love that so much, because I couldn't agree more. Now, how has it been coming to Australia, and I guess being in Australian culture? Like, do we do things differently? Do we say things differently? How has that experience been from nursing over there to coming to Australia?
Yeah, 100%. It's actually very funny. I didn't realize how much we say things that are very different. Like, because I work on a ward with Irish and Australians, I find myself saying, "Oh, far out," and like such more Irish things, and they all say Irish. The Australians now say, "Oh, it's grand, it's grand." They are, because we work so close together for the last couple of months. All our different things have amalgamated. They're saying Irish things and we're saying Australian things. It's hilarious. Like, I kept saying when we finished work, like, "Okay, we're out the gap," and some people were like, "What's that?" And then now they're saying, it's like, "We're done, we're out the door." Or you say to someone, "What's the crack?" As in, like, "What's the story? What's the fun?" And then automatically like, "Oh, crack, what do you mean?" I was like, "Oh, no, crack,
Not that crack,
what's
not
the
that
story?
crack.
What's the fun? Not that crack."
Oh, I've never heard of what the crack. I would be so confused if you were like, "What the crack?"
We'd be like, "What's the crack? What's the story?"
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Yes, there's definitely some differences. What about with like the medical
it's very
things
funny.
like that? Does that get confusing, or is it quite similar with what we do with like our policies and things like that?
Yeah, no, it's very similar, with the, well, S8s and S4s. When I first heard about them, when I first moved over, I was like, what's that? Because we call them like the controlled drugs, and we call them a different thing. But with the different like medications and things, you pick it up straight away. It definitely wouldn't be something I think a new nurse should be nervous about moving over. You pick up all those things straight away. The same procedures or policies are very the same. You go, two nurses sign out certain drugs, checks, and so it's all very similar, but maybe certain things have different names. But again, you just pick that up straight away.
Yeah. So
it wouldn't be something that I'd be like, don't worry about,
Yeah, perfect. So I want to bring up as well, because there's a lot of internationals that will listen to this podcast and try and get like tips and tricks and everything. I know they're going to be super inspired to do rural remote. But as you mentioned, you were obviously doing metro shifts in Sydney, and you were trying to balance like that lifestyle. So I guess like the pros and cons of doing agency work, especially in like places like Sydney, is like you can choose to work 5 days a week, but then because you have the ability to just work 3 days a week and have more time off to party and explore, you end up not really working as much.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I just want to hang out and go to the pub with friends and do all this. So the pros and cons. Sometimes it's so tempting to be like, "Oh, nah, I'm not going to work that day." And then you're poor.
Yeah. So so in Sydney, like, sometimes to get to work can take up to an hour. Sometimes depending on where you're going to work. So you have to take in consideration your travel time, and if you're on night duty, traveling all the way back in the morning. So travel and time to get to the place, depending on where you're working and depending what suburb you're in, that's one thing. And another one would be if you're kind of going to different places, different hospitals all the time. you don't really have that like relationship with the other nurses and staff. So I really enjoy being very close to people. So sometimes I found that quite difficult for me, kind of going in, no one knowing you, and you trying to be like, hi, So that was another kind of hard thing, not kind of having a base and building relationships. Always just kind of coming and going. Whereas if you're in like a rural place for a couple of weeks, you then get to build your relationship. You get that consistency in work, and you have your roster and that routine. Okay, I know I'm working this day and this day and this day. I can't cancel. I'll plan my day. You're much more like get up and go on the days that you know you're working, then that you're not going to cancel. Whereas I found in Sydney then too, there was, oh, it's a great day, everyone's going out. Oh, I may cancel that shift.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a hard balance. And I know when I do go back to Sydney for summer, I'll have to like try and plan out my week that I'm like, no, you have to work these days. And yeah, it's just too, there's you can get caught up in the lifestyle, I feel, in the city sometimes.
Yeah. And I hear that a lot, and I've done it myself. Like I relocated to Brisbane, and I was just like, sometimes I was working like 2 days a week, and I was just like, okay, I can't financially survive. I need to stop. I need to actually be a proper adult.
Yeah. And just like, because I work, when I'm rural, I can work as much as I want. I can just like try and work doubles and load the shifts. That like come summer, I plan on maybe doing just 3 shifts a week, because I won't have to work as much, because the amount I've worked from all the rural, that I can just like cover my rent, cover my social life, and not trying to, enjoy the summer also. So all the rural work will help me not work as much in summer to be able to enjoy it too, but just keep tipping away.
Yeah, absolutely. So good. Oh, I love it so much. So what are your plans for the next 6 months or the next year? Have you had to sit down and had to think about what you want to do?
It's actually really funny. I've honestly lived this entire year month by month. I've just had a list of things that I knew what I wanted to do, and I've just been like, okay, I'll do that then. So I have done Uluru, I've done Bali, I've done New Zealand. At the end of October, I have the East Coast, the rest of the East Coast, from Brisbane up to Cairns, if I'm saying that correctly. And then another few different weekends in between. Weekend at the Gold Coast for a bit of Cali Beach.
Ooh.
I'm doing a skydive next week for my birthday. November, I'm still trying to figure out November. It's so funny. It's just like all up in the air. I always know it will work out. And I think I want a Sydney summer just before I travel again in January. So have a nice base, get an apartment again, enjoy being with all my friends again, and have a nice Christmas dinner, because I know I won't be going home this year, this Christmas. So it's like December, Sydney. November, I probably pick another little holiday. But I know I'm getting the East Coast done in the end of October, and then maybe work again in between that again before summer. Yeah.
Hey, how good is that? That like literally nearly every single month, you've got something big to look forward to. Like most people, traditionally, most people will be in their full-time role and be just working, and they'll maybe have like one holiday a year that they're looking forward to. But this lifestyle that you've created, you've been able to have something fun and amazing to look forward to every single month. That's incredible.
I know, it's honestly wild. Like when my family group chat are like, Erica, you're just ticking everything off. Like, have you anything left on your bucket list? It's so funny when I think back to like Ireland, like trying to get 1 week off to go on one holiday in the entire year. Whereas now I honestly have something on every month to look forward to pack and unpack for. And it's just wild. And sometimes I'm like, what did I even do? But it's just, I have to go through my camera roll. Oh my God, I did that. It's just, it's the most unique, like I have some friends that are will, depending on what their job, and they haven't really got to leave Sydney. But the rural nursing and the agency, I can take all this time off, work hard, holiday, and just no worry or no anxiety over, will I get that time off? There's such freedom in it. And it's such an adventure. It's so exciting.
Yeah, and that's why it's so addicting, because you've got all this freedom ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. You should go to Port Lincoln in South Australia and go shark cage diving. Should add that to your
God, I love that. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie now. After New Zealand, I did the bungee. I just literally dived off. I was like, I'm diving into Bronte Bats. I dived off, and I was like, I was like freaking out coming up to the edge, and she goes, smiles at the camera. So I was like, oh. And then I dived off it, and now I'm doing the skydive for my birthday. So I'm kind of chasing those. Oh, I did the marathon at the weekend, so I'm like chasing those highs.
So good. Where are you skydiving?
Byron.
Oh, the great spot. Oh my God. So good.
Yeah.
Definitely
Love it.
do a contract in South Australia, Port Lincoln, and go shark cage diving while you're there. And you could also swim with sea lions.
Oh my God. I must do that. I must add that to the bucket list.
Add it to the bucket list. I just did it this year and it was an incredible experience. And a sea lion actually kissed me on the face on camera, like on video. I was
Oh
like,
my
oh my
God.
God, getting tashed by a sea lion. Actually, talking about tashing, how's the dating life for an agency nurse? Because this is something that I get asked a lot, because you mentioned that you were nearly single in January, and that's when you kind of took the full-time plunge, I guess, of being like, I'm going to be a full rural remote nurse now. And I feel like a lot of people in my years of doing agency nursing, it's usually a breakup or something that kind of has rocked their world a little bit, where they feel like, okay, I'm free now, I'm just going to do what I want. So how have you found being single and I guess trying to date while you're living this unique life?
It's funny. It's like, because you could be a couple of weeks here or even like a month or two there, and then obviously there's the dating apps. And what I said this time when I come rural, I want to make it more my lifestyle, like keep up with my, doing my hair, keep up with doing myself up, and just making the rural life as more like yourself as possible. Don't like let myself go to the dogs. I'd keep myself up in my appearance. And then me and the girls, we'd go out up here. We go out up here and we meet people out. We've just made it our life up here. So I was like, why not date up here then also? So we'd go out, we meet people out, and then there's the dating apps. And then I actually have dated some people up here, and there's pros and cons to it, because then I go away and travel and then I come back. So it's not anything stable, but it's cute to have something to be excited about up here and have that dating. Whether it ends up being long term or not, that's another kind of, I don't think too far ahead. I just like to enjoy the now and that present moment with that person. And if it goes further than what we expected, then we can think about it then. But it's just so exciting to go on your dates up here through the apps, or we could meet someone in the hospital also.
Yep. And there's a lot of romances. There's a lot of romances that blossom with agencies. So sometimes it is hard and it can be tough. There are a lot of cons to it. But like, I've met so many people who have met the loves of their lives, in these small little beautiful towns. And I mean, my consultant, we actually both had the same consultant for HCA. And she was mentioning that, she's had people getting engaged and people having babies, and, she's getting all these updates, and she's just like, she's loved following that journey as well, being like, oh my God, they did this. They were hesitant to go on this contract because they were nervous, but yet they went on this contract, grew as a person, met the love of their life, and now living their best life. So it is possible, but there are pros and cons. I do.
Yeah. But it's so exciting. And I actually feel like, because when I was in Sydney, I was so like Irish based, Irish community. Now when I'm in the Australian like community, I've kind of started dating Australians also, and it's just opened my eyes and branch out from the Irish community. And the Australians are so much fun too, and I just really, really enjoyed it. And then even just with the girls, like the girls are the love of my life too. The friends that I've made, like some of the girls got engaged up here, and we went out celebrating them, and we go celebrating each other's birthdays. So it's great. Yeah, it's exciting and it's fun. And then you come back to the girls and be like, oh my God, the romances, maybe there's a bit of Grey's Anatomy going on, and yeah, it's great fun.
I couldn't agree more, honestly. You are living your best life. You're honestly embracing every single part of what it is to do rural remote nursing. And this is like why I love to do these podcast episodes, because it's like, this is the amazing part of rural remote nursing. And I think a lot of people now are getting a little bit focused on the dollar, like they're just purely focused on the dollar and how much do they pay, and how much do they pay, and how much do they pay. Where agency, you're going to get great money. You're going to get great money regardless. And it's all about these experiences. This is the highlight of rural nursing, is these stories. I'm so excited for the rest of your year. It sounds absolutely epic.
It's just, life's too short. Just go out and do it and enjoy yourself.
Couldn't agree more. Well, I'm so stoked that I got to talk to you today. My consultant was telling me all about you and how, just how excited you are and all your incredible stories. She loves hearing it. She tells me about them. So I was so stoked that you agreed to come on the podcast to have a chat with me today. And I'm excited for you, but now it's getting me excited as well because I'm like, yeah, no, I want to do more contracts. I want to have more adventures. I want to be like you.
Yeah. No, it's the best opportunity ever.
So good. Well, I'm going to keep up with all your adventures. I'm going to follow you on the gram for sure. Thank you again for coming on For the Health of It. Your very first podcast. I think you did an absolutely good job.
Thanks, Jess. Oh, it's been so much fun. It's been great. But I just want everyone to get out there and take advantage of this unique job that we have, that we can go anywhere, do it when we like with it.
Do it. That's your sign off for the day. Just do it. Hey, just do it. Don't think about it.
Just go for it. Leap. Take that leap.
Love it. Love it. So everybody, if you have enjoyed the episode, make sure to give us a 5-star review and share the love. Share it with your Irish friends. Get them to come to Australia and work here because they're going to have the best time ever. So if you've got any questions, reach out to me on social media. Erica, thank you so much again for coming on today and speaking with me.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been so much fun.
All right. Bye, everybody.